Action. Just like that.
You know, and when someone tells you to jump, you say how high? How high?
Some of us do, and some of us just say no.
And when it's time to say no, you just say no.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes you absolutely want to jump
Yeah, definitely.
as high as they say. For the greater good.
For the greater good.
Oh man. Okay, so it's been a
What
while.
are we talking about?
Oh, gosh.
How long has it been?
I guess it probably about a month.
Has it really?
Yeah.
A month?
About a month.
Dang.
I know. So much has changed.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
What has changed?
Well, I started wearing a watch again.
Oh, wow. Did you even make it a month? Did you
I
even make
think
it a
was
week?
like 2 or 3 days. Yeah, I was like, well, I found this watch online.
I love that you were like really on that kick.
I found this watch online.
is that
and I
a
was
new
like,
one?
yeah,
That's a new
it's
one?
newer. Yeah, it's a little bit.
so
It's
yeah,
a little dainty.
This looks really good with a gold watch.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Your gold watch. Yeah.
Yeah, or a two-tone.
Yeah. Your two-tone one is cool.
Ooh,
With
I
that.
like that. I like that one. That's cute.
You want me to tell you? Let me tell you a little about that one.
Um,
I found it at my favorite store,
of course.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
And these little garnets. I think there's a couple of these. There's some jade in there, but there's a heart, and it's love and protection.
Oh.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Cool.
I feel like it's something I would get my niece, one of my nieces.
I got a bitch
but-
a new ring.
Oh my god.
Arts Festival ring.
All right, so I didn't actually know that white turquoise was a thing. I'm assuming that's white turquoise on top.
I don't even know what it is, but it's beautiful. I saw it and I was like, yep, I'm gonna
Yeah.
need that one.
Yeah, I'm into the red turquoise. I've always
Red turquoise?
Have you seen it? Or is it coral? Maybe I'm thinking of coral.
Oh my god, I don't. I don't.
Maybe it's coral.
I don't think that's the
There's
thing.
black coral. There's black coral. There's red coral.
Okay.
Maybe that's what I was confusing it with.
You know, I'm not a gemologist, so I can't really say.
I'm gonna.
Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? What's it called if you study
A gemologist.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah. There's geologist, which is rock, and then the study of rock, and then gemologist. Yeah, London's a gemologist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deep breaths.
Yep.
Deep breaths.
All right, what are we
I
talking
know. There's
what
lots
are we
of-
talking
There's
about?
a lot to
What are we
unpack.
talking
Okay,
about?
so I guess first off, my question to you: how have you been feeling lately? If you could put today, one
Today?
feeling word. What is it?
Today, accomplished.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
In what ways?
I have some newfound time on my hands. And so, you know, the last few days I've really been kicking ass at my house. I haven't had time to do
Yeah.
a lot of this
Yeah.
stuff. And so being able to just knock out a bunch of things
Yeah.
that have been needed
Yeah.
to be done.
And not have to balance a
yeah.
9 to 5, 8 to 5. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm curious. We'll dig into that a little bit more later,
Okay.
or would you like to go ahead and
I don't know.
share
What do you
now?
think?
Honestly, you might as well. Let's just bust it open. Tell us what's been going on.
Kicked the can,
And,
baby.
and tell us what a whistleblower you are. Yeah.
I don't know. Do you think that's what it was still? It's been funny. I've been reflecting on all of that. I haven't had much time to reflect, to be honest, but
Yeah.
in the small amount of time that I have had, you know, it's funny. Okay, yeah. So I quit my job this week. Yeah, was not anticipating doing that,
Yeah.
but as in many things in my life this year, things have just
Not went the way you thought they
been-
were gonna go.
Yeah, like in the best,
Yeah.
coolest, most unexpected kind of way. So, you know, a lot of things were going down last year, kind of with work things, and a lot of uncomfortable moments that
Ooh, yeah. There really were.
I brought up. Things that I did not feel should be swept under the rug.
Yeah.
And a lot of people would and just let things slide and are just kind of okay with things. But, you know, us, like, being self-employed and doing our own thing for most of our careers, this was the first time I had been in sort of a corporate role.
Right.
I just kind of didn't know how things were done and, like, you know.
You
and
were
so,
like guinea pig for your in all of that.
yeah, and I was very open,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't know, like, what do I do with this information?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, just got to the point where I couldn't not say something. And
Your compass needle is so far north.
that's what I've said this week.
Yeah.
Having such a strong conviction is a blessing and kind of a curse. Because, at least for me, and everyone's tolerance level is different, it's hard for me to tolerate things that I know I don't align with. And I think that especially like with my background and like, and, you know, sort of hiding who I was for so long and the time that it took to come out, live authentically,
Yeah.
be myself, and all of the pain and struggle that I went through to live the life that I'm living.
You went to hell and back to get here.
So when I
Yeah.
feel when I not when I feel when I know something is wrong and something's not okay, it's really hard for me to be passive about it. And so, anyways, that happened multiple times last year, and you know, you're always there, kind of coaching me through it. And you know, you and Allie were kind of like, Shh, "You're the whistleblower," and I'm like, "Oh my God, I guess I kind of am." Like, it wasn't intentional by any means, but
You just knew you were listening to
yeah.
your body and intuition
And
what made sense.
the major, I would say, benefit. Benefit's not the right word, but I'm very, very fortunate to be in the position that I am. That do I need a job? Yes. Can I live without one for a while? Also, yes.
Yeah.
And so
Not many people have that.
that puts me in a unique position, and so I wasn't as afraid to
Stand up for
to s-
yourself. Yeah.
and not even for myself, for what was right.
Right.
It wasn't even about me, you know, and at least this week wasn't. But the things from last year, you know, bringing those to the surface and talking about those and, you know, addressing uncomfortable things. It was
Yeah.
uncomfortable for me.
I was gonna say we don't have to go into dirty detail about the circumstances from any of them really, but in the corporate world that you've been in, you weren't privy to that prior to this job. Like
Yeah.
that's not something in our world in selling real estate. We are our own bosses. We don't have to deal.
Well,
we don't have
there's-
to deal with that angle. There are people in the world that are going to be offensive and incredibly crude and inappropriate and disrespectful at times. But I feel like we don't really have.
there's a couple of major differences. Number one, we're basically we work on our own. We function on
Yeah.
our own as realtors. Also, it's a female-dominated industry.
For the most part.
I've switched over to a very
Yeah.
male-dominated
Yeah.
industry. Not a lot of women in it. Not a lot of women in leadership, or not a lot of women that are seen. And so, being in business development, out meeting so many people and engaging with so many people, you know, conversations happen, things get said that shouldn't be
Right.
sometimes.
Right.
You know? And so, anyways, you know, handful of those incidences last year.
Yeah. And I feel like outsider looking in, also not ever being in a hierarchy like you've been in, I feel like you handled them all very well with as much poise and grace as you could, but also like, yeah, HR, I'm gonna need you to know this. Like, this is
Yeah.
important.
Yeah.
Write that down.
Well, at first, I didn't know what to do with the
Right.
information. Then I talked to some other girlfriends at work, and they're like,
Go talk to HR, yeah.
They're like, "Did you tell HR?" And I'm like, "Should I?
This is why they're employed.
Is that what I'm supposed to do?"
This is why they're employed,
I'm like,
yeah.
okay. So then once I was like, realize and you know had acknowledgement and affirmation of like, "Yeah, boo," like,
That's
I'm
not
like,
cool, yeah.
"Oh, okay, yeah," you know.
You
'Cause
feel empowered
well,
to
you
go
know,
say something.
You and I are like
Yeah.
skilled enough in conversation that like I can handle myself.
Sure.
And I can walk away easily. It's not hard,
Right.
you know. But
But was it but in the moment, was it right? What
well,
was
you know,
being
you were
said?
involved in one of those.
Yeah. Oh,
you were
boy.
involved in
Oh,
one of those,
boy.
and you know, it's hard to describe how it makes you feel. It's hard to put words to. I could, but you know. So
Old news.
Well,
Yeah.
So you know that was happening. Multiple
Consistently enough.
multiple
Yeah.
instances of that about this time last year or last summer, and since then it's been all clear. And then
I guess it really was, wasn't it?
it was.
Yeah.
It
nothing,
was.
Nothing too crazy going on.
Yeah, and so then, you know, an incident happened that I couldn't not say something about. It was incredibly uncomfortable for me to say something about, but it this particular instance, it did directly affect me. So I wanted to bring it up. I did, but I think the other side of it, and what brought me to resigning from my position was, the way it was handled, and
The lack thereof, yeah.
That's where it was more principle for me. It was more black and white of right and wrong, and it was such a strong conviction. I said, like, the next day I was ready to, I'm out of here.
Yeah,
I'm done.
yeah. And that still would have been a response given the the period
Yeah.
of time in between the incident and you making the decision you made. But at the same time too, it's like it was already over before the end of that day.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like there was no recovery.
mean-
there was no amount of apology or quote unquote recovery that could have taken place that wouldn't have just left a terrible taste in your mouth moving
Yeah,
forward.
yeah.
Like what is the point of
I mean, there's no denying I was heated about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you were seething.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
But, I don't make decisions in that state.
Sure.
But it was so much more than that. It wasn't anger. It was, I'm saying, I really felt like I was doing it for us. Like I'm doing it
Ooh,
for,
that's so
I'm
good.
doing it for
That's
the girls.
so good.
I'm doing it for the girls.
Yeah.
And the
Uh-huh.
girls are saying, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. This
Yeah.
is not okay.
Yeah.
This is not okay.
And
And I will not tolerate it.
Right.
And I can't be around it. And I can't stand it. And if I don't have someone that's
going
gonna
to bat for you.
go to bat for me, gonna say, I got you, boo,
Yeah.
then I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah. Yeah. Where the
Yeah.
protection and
Yeah.
where you feel safe
Yeah.
and safe enough to voice your vulnerabilities and concern when they come up.
Yeah.
Because you weren't greeted with that.
Yeah. Anyways, so all of that to say, we're doing new things. We're doing different things.
Since that happened, now you have a new job.
I have a new job. I have a new job.
You've got a new job. You're gonna finish out your house. The ranch is getting worked on.
Yep. So
You've got a sliding glass door.
taking about a month off before I start the
Yeah.
new gig, so I can.
It's exactly what honestly.
up my house.
It's interesting when you think about it. The divine timing of this world. It's exactly what you needed.
oh.
You needed a little. You needed a little
Yeah.
month
Yeah.
to get after it and get
Yeah.
it done. Imagine
And a-
how much have you accomplished in the last 3 days?
A lot.
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying. I'm like,
yeah, that's
we don't
what
have
I'm
a
like.
9 to 5 to go do. Like I can
Oh
go
my gosh.
freely get all this done.
Oh, and it feels so fun. It's like old times.
Oh my gosh.
It's like old times. I had Noose in the back of the car, and I'm like, car full of shit, like all kinds of,
I will say,
stuff.
the other day I was driving around and, I get caught in traffic. We all do.
How many tires have you popped this week?
Shut up. I love traffic. It was a nail. I know. I picked up a nail at New
Just
Construction.
what are the odds? What are the odds, though? Since our last podcast, you've gotten 2 new tires.
Breakdown equals breakthrough.
Did you
and-
get a new tire?
Well, so oddly enough, it was just a hole in there. They repaired.
Okay, so one new
Blythe
tire
said
and
it was
then
just
a
a nail.
replacement.
It was just a nail. This most recent was just a nail in the front driver's side, and they fixed it. So they didn't have to replace it. So I only had to pay $10 for the loaner. I was like, nice. I was like, Blythe, I hope not to see you anytime soon.
Blythe. She's on a first name basis.
She's so sweet.
With the homies at Lexus.
Oh my god, they all, as soon as I walked in, they're just like, what, like.
They're
do
like,
you-"
"What now?
Yeah.
What
I was
now?"
like, I appreciate you guys. Literally, Lexus Escridge, they're the best. I'm talking service, luxury, you
Yeah,
name
we
it.
love
They've got
them.
coffee. They bring in cinnamon rolls and donuts and cookies, fruit, you name it. They've got
Nice,
all that
nice.
stuff. Every single day. This is not
you
like
love
a.
it.
This is
You
not
love
like
it.
a. Yeah, I do love it a lot. I'm in my
You
grandma.
look, you
I'm in
look
my
like,
grandma era.
You look like a girl that hangs out at the Lexus dealership.
Shut up! Shut up!
You know what? Maybe that's where you'll meet your person.
I hope.
Honestly?
Oh my god!
Honestly, with your luck, it
Do
could
you
be.
remember Catboy? Do you remember Catboy?
Oh my god!
He works there
Yeah,
still.
he does.
So on
Have you
Tuesday,
seen him? Have you seen him?
no, but on Tuesday,
Oh my God, I forgot about
on
that.
Tuesday when I got Ubered, so Randy with Arrow Wrecker, also, this was a voluntary
I
situation.
love that you remember the names. Love that you remember the names.
Arrow Wrecker tows me all the time. When you, anywhere downtown, you get towed by Arrow Wrecker. Like that's the
Okay.
city contract. So I knew exactly who I was calling to voluntarily come tow me because I have a flat tire. And anyway, Randy drops me off. Get to the lot before 7. They close the gates at 7. For services close at 6. The gates are closed at 7. Anyway, Randy gets me up there. Super cool. And I have an interesting story about that. About Randy specifically. Randy comes to my rescue. He was there in less
Randy
than
to the
15
rescue.
minutes. super cool guy. He should not be alive. He's like 50, I think he said he was 58. Should not be alive. He's had so many heart problems. He's one of
Heart or hard?
Heart.
Oh.
He said he had heart surgery last summer. I don't know if it was triple bypass or what was going on. I digress. That man should not be alive. But by the grace of God, he's here. One, he has custody of his grandson,
I love
Joseph.
It. God.
and 10-year-old.
And this is why you're good at what you do.
10-year-old, yeah. I get this from my mother. I do, and my grandfather, the OG Wally Gator. And Randy, yeah, shouldn't be here. His daughter also has similar health complications. I'm like, is it hereditary? He goes, they say it's not. And I was like, clearly it could be at this point. She's young. She's my age. Just crazy. Anyway, but being of service to others for 18 years, the way that he has. Oh, he came to my rescue. I opened the door. I was like, Randy. I was like, over here, you know, like.
Have you been on the phone with him?
Yeah. They told me they were sending him out. And typically when I get towed, I don't know the driver. So this time I got to engage with this driver. And yeah, incredible. Super nice guy. It's funny because when I was younger, I used to go tag along with my grandfather. He's a he owned his own construction company, and we were checking on this job site. Oh, it was out on the coast. It's probably Newport or Florence or something like that. And I remember I was doing a ride along with Grandpa that day. I don't know what everyone else was up to, but I got to go with him, and we open up the truck and we're out there just standing. He's BSing with the guys on site, and I said, Grandpa, like, what do you want me to do? He's like, you just sit there and look cute. And I was like, okay, I can do that. So that's been coming up for me a lot lately too. And I asked Randy, I was like, when he came and picked me up, I said, Randy's like, what do you need me to do? He goes, just go get in the truck and stay warm. And I was like,
oh,
nice. I was like, I can do that.
It's nice to be taken
Yeah,
care of.
I was like, I can do that.
Yeah.
Opens the door for me.
Oh,
like
what?
holds my hand getting
Oh my
like the
gosh.
tow truck's like huge. Like you gotta, and he doesn't typically tow vehicles. It's usually like big equipment, like farm equipment and stuff that's like broken down. So so it's an extra large tow truck that's going on. I was his last call of the day. But yeah,
Lucky him.
Super great guy. Yeah, he was saving he said the damsel in distress. I was like, well, damn it, Randy. I was like, I'm not sure. Yes, I just allowed it. I was in receiving mode. But I guess reflecting on that after I got back, but he gets to be the hero in unless he's towing someone because they parked somewhere they shouldn't. Guilty,
Yeah.
I know the consequences. But he gets to be the hero every day. And everyone always asks me, Randy, how do you get so many tips? He's like, I greet them with a smile. I try and make light of their situation because this is could be a possibly hectic situation. They're on the side of the road, it's everyone's safety. And so we were just yapping in the truck all the way up to Lexus, and his name is Randy, which I think is so interesting because my biological father's name is Randy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I don't know. It's just weird how he was coming to my rescue, right? Randy was coming to my rescue.
Interesting.
Where,
Yeah.
an absent father for the last, we'll call it 30
Ever.
years. 30 years,
Yeah.
But here comes Randy coming to my rescue. I was like, you know what, Randy? So the next day, I'm on this like crumble cookie kick. So I went and got him a crumble.
You have been.
I know. Well, I didn't have any cash. He had said something about tips. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And so in my head, I'm like, I don't have any cash. You carry cash. I don't ever carry cash. And if I do, it's like gone, like that. So sorry, but I went and got him a crumble cookie. I like literally walked in with just one cookie, like the single box, just for Randy. That was it. And knowing there were obviously other workers there, it wasn't for sharing. This was for Randy. Like this cookie, this chocolate chunk, this delicious warm chocolate chunk cookies for Randy. And I was like, can you guys make sure? I was like, is Randy here? Is he on a call? They're like, which Randy? I was like, well, I guess I'm not going to try and describe him at this point, but they're like, older gentleman, glasses? I said, yes. They're like, he's on a call. Would you make sure this gets to him? And they said, absolutely. And I hope to God those women did not eat that cookie. I'll be pissed.
They didn't.
I'll be
They
pissed
wouldn't
if they ate
have
that
done that. They
cookie.
wouldn't have done that.
I wouldn't either. But yeah, it was just something sweet to a gesture. I'm like, I didn't have any cash at the time. It was like, I made sure the next morning I went and dropped a cookie off for him, and hopefully that brightened his day as much as it made my day, that he just like, he was there within 15 minutes. I was like, dang, you were on it. I was his last call of the day. Probably it would have been somebody else, but it was cool. Just hindsight. Yeah, it felt like I was closing a little bit of a loop, right? Randy was coming to my rescue, and it felt really cool. It was awesome. Yeah.
Nice.
So
thanks for the Randy story.
That's that was the hole in my tire on Tuesday. The Tuesday before, who knows why there was a blowout on that tire?
Okay, enough about the tires.
I have no idea.
Tell us what's been like
Coming up for me.
Yeah, what's been coming up for you?
Man, I keep
Last time it was 5D, 3D and 5D. No watch.
I wasn't wearing a watch. I'm wearing a watch now. The 5D. I actually had a conversation with an old friend today. He was passing through town, and I know him from my Tulsa days.
Okay.
Back in 2017, and he lives in outside of Dallas now, and he was passing through town. I asked if we grab lunch, and I said, yeah, that sounds great. So went to 30th Street Market, got some lunch, got to catch up. It's interesting too because he and I've known each other for a long time. Zero romantic interests, but we get along very well. We can talk. I was sharing with him about the 5D and the 3D, and he wasn't familiar. He wasn't familiar.
Okay.
I'm sure he'll probably go like, Google tonight what that was. Yeah, he's like me in that way where he's started listening to fiction audiobooks because he had to like reel it in a little bit on the self-development and stuff.
Okay.
I said, absolutely. I was like, I understand. I still can't get into fiction novels, but I'm working on it. And we were talking about the 5D and the 3D and how the men in our world are protectors and providers for the 3D. And women.
That's been an interesting concept. You sent me that video,
and then the women. I mean, we are the only beings that can bring life into this world. You know what I mean? Like that in itself. I've said it from day one. I've watched 2 births in my life, and it's a lot.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I've never seen a birth,
and it's. I say it's magical. I like don't want to go that far. I know it's magical. In the moment, I'm like, oh God. I'm like, whoa. Like
who? Your sister? And
my
who?
sister. Both of
Both.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, what an honor, what a privilege to be a part of that. We are literally capable of bringing life into this world.
It's crazy.
So I think some things that I've discovered or been thinking about lately, my hopes and dreams of attracting a partner that I can talk with like I would interact with a best friend, a female, it's never going to be the same. And it's not supposed to be the same. It's supposed to be they're protectors of the 3D world and provide safe space for women, the female, and I guess that's interesting because it's so different this is different for everybody.
Yeah,
this is different for everybody.
I was gonna say I think
it's like it's the energy, I guess, maybe not like the actual gender.
Yeah. But also I think your perspective is crucial.
Yeah.
What you if that's what you believe and that's how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Then I think. Because I don't know that everyone would agree with you on that.
Sure. And
because when I first watched that video, I was kind of like
what's up?
I was kind of like like I got a little bit like I don't know about this.
Like this is too much.
It was interesting to me. It was kind of it was a concept I've never heard of or thought of.
And your lens, your frame, obviously.
Hold on, explain it like briefly.
The 3D, just the 5D.
No, just I guess you kind of have.
Yeah. I guess our divine essence as a female, right?
Yeah.
We are
women basically being the more like spiritual, wise,
embody all of those things.
Yes.
Naturally. Like those are already
natural gifts.
Innate, yeah. And of course nurturing and nurture nature. Of course nurturing that, like that only grows it only expands when you do that. But I think naturally, from baseline, we have that, whereas the male counterpart doesn't have that, I don't think, as innately, right?
Yeah.
They've got to nurture that. It's not necessarily the nature part.
Yeah.
But I think just like slowing down and realizing that any sort of partnership that I would be attracting, I can't expect it to be the same. What's that book? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. And so trying to round hole square peg, like that's not going to work. It doesn't work like that. So kind of just like sitting back and realizing that it's okay if it's not, I guess not okay if it's not as emotionally deep as I would hope, because they will be, but that capacity is also in exchanges with the feminine, like consistently and constantly, like that expands for them too. You know what I mean? So I can't be harsh or I don't know, hold it against any gentleman if they're like not incredibly with it. But I know that they exist. I know that they're out there.
Yeah,
because I just had lunch with my friend who's definitely on his journey.
You're not going to be attracted to someone that's not on that journey.
No.
You're not even going to vibe with them.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to find someone that's doing that.
Who's there? Yeah.
Yeah, I do think it's a different dynamic.
Yeah. I just can't expect for them to be like A+ on everything. You know, I
Well,
can't.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
Same
true.
thing for me though too. Like
Yeah.
I'm not. I can't be A+ on everything
Yeah,
either. So I think
yeah.
there's just more grace and compassion
Yeah.
for understanding that as a whole and that dynamic for me personally. You
Yeah,
know, and
yeah.
just relaxing, just relaxing a little bit more and taking it easy.
It's just funny that you say that because that was one of the things that in my coming out process and realizing like my attraction to women, it was a lot of it was like, and what I was longing for was a much deeper emotional, spiritual connection that I felt like I didn't have and
Right.
was never going to find. And so, yeah, that's just kind of funny.
And weird. You even saying that. What's coming up for me is our conversation yesterday or the day before about you being the constant and stable one in your life. And I think that the more we turn inward and be that spiritual, deep connection for ourselves first,
Right.
it's already, those are the answers. Like we don't have, it's not outside of us. It was
Yeah.
already inside
yeah.
of us.
Yeah. It always, I mean, it always is.
But
you
obviously
know?
intimate relationships reflect, they mirror back those whatever it is,
Yeah.
the lesson or the trigger, whatever is going on. But yeah, just being more hyper aware of that, I suppose, and just relaxing a little bit more about it.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been relaxing a lot, but
That's good. It's good to relax.
in a good way.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else? What else?
Well, I mean, I think I want to touch on that, like what you just said, because you said that to me this week, and it literally like stopped me.
Yeah.
Like, it stopped me in my tracks because
It's so clear for me to see it for you.
Which is so funny.
Because I'm outside of it.
right,
looking
and I'm
in.
like in the storm.
Yeah.
You know, I was telling you how everything in my life has changed this year. Like every big thing.
Huge.
I got a dog. I got a house.
Another house.
I got another house.
Like, don't forget that.
I got a girlfriend, and
You got a new truck.
I got a truck. I got a truck. Like how
Oh my
gay of
gosh.
me.
I love it. I love it.
And then
Tell the people what it is. It's a Ford pickup. Like, this isn't just a truck.
the best
It's a
part
Ford
about it
pickup,
is
yeah.
that I didn't even realize till after the fact that it's the
God.
same year as my house.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's a 93.
How funny.
93 Ford F-150.
I love it.
And I love it. I'm
love it.
obsessed. It's
Purrs
so-
like a kitten.
Yeah, but you know what? It's making a little noise sound. I'm like,
Sometimes she's
I
clanky.
don't know how
Yeah.
to fix it. I don't know what to do. Help. I need Randy for the rescue.
You need a wrench and just like bang on it every once in a while.
I don't know that.
Just wave your magic
It's not.
wand.
It's not that.
Yeah.
It's a brake. It's when I press the brake, it like kind of squeaks now. And
Your
I'm like,
pads are probably rubbing
what are
off.
I thinking? WD-40?
Your pads are
will
probably.
that help it?
Yeah.
No. And so then I was saying like the only stable thing in my life has been my job, and I, not only, but like
Sure.
of the big staples in my life, it was
Something
this-
you could count. Sure, bet you could count
the
on it.
thing
Yeah.
that I had zero anticipation of changing
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah.
It felt scary to me. Like I didn't want to make a change. I was happy in my
Yeah.
job.
It
And
allows
so-
you. It allows you a lot of flexibility.
Yeah.
We could say freedom.
But also I enjoy it.
Right.
I enjoyed what I was
Right.
doing. But anyways, so very unexpected to make that change, and it was weird because in one sense the timing didn't feel right, but then on the other hand, with this new opportunity that presented itself at the exact right time, I did absolutely nothing to receive this gift. I did nothing.
Opportunity.
Opportunity.
You'll be able to
I mean,
decide
it
if it's a
is-
gift later. Yeah.
Either way, it is.
Opportunity, yeah.
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 So, but anyways, just kind of venting to you, like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Like, this is the one part of my life that was stable.
was
that
good, like, no
that
going
it-
anywhere,
And,
yeah.
and you like stopped me, and you're like, Melissa, it's you. Like, you're the stable one. And I don't know why. It just like clicked. Literally,
Light
you say
bulbs,
that.
yeah.
I felt like I zoomed out of my life, and I was like, oh my God.
Right.
You're right. I'm like, you're right. Like, and you really helped me, like, really enjoy life. Like,
Yes.
kind of like dating yourself.
Yeah.
Oh
Oh my God. Yes.
You were like always doing all the things, like
Oh man.
setting the table for yourself, like lighting all the candles for yourself, like and I started doing that, and I was having so much fun.
It's if
I was
we're
having
not
so
going
much
to do it
fun.
for ourselves, why would somebody else come in and do it?
True,
If they don't know what
true.
the standard is, then of
Yeah.
course they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
But you show people how to treat you by how you
That's
treat
right.
yourself.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so I think through learning that, doing that, it makes all of the anything could change at any moment. That's the
God.
reality.
Hashtag
And
plot
when you
twist.
and when you
Yeah.
create a safe place in your own head and heart that
Yeah.
no matter what happens out here, I'm good.
Unshook.
I'm good.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely.
and I mean, I've been learning that lesson over the last few years. Like
Yeah.
going through divorce and coming out was like,
It's a muscle. You've got to
Yeah,
flex it.
absolutely.
If you don't
Yeah.
know that muscle exists, that's okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully one day everyone discovers that muscle for themselves. But yeah, you gotta keep you. It's like the time in, right? Trust is built in little moments over extended period of time. You're just building trust within yourself
yeah,
consistently,
Yeah.
constantly as
Yeah.
everything goes on. And yeah, I feel like we can fall back into old patterns and then just catapult all the way back forward, pick up where we left off when we fell into old patterns. But the quicker we can get at not falling back into we can recover from falling into our old patterns, the better, right? Get back to baseline and then, yeah, catapult from there.
yeah.
I'm proud of you. It's
Okay.
exciting.
Well,
It's
thank you.
crazy.
So I had a birthday since last time, and you have one coming up. So tell us what you've been reflecting on
Oh, man.
approaching your Jesus year.
Yeah, my Jesus year. For anyone listening, Jesus died at the age of 33, and this will be my 33rd birthday
Which you
this year. And I've already been in my 33rd year
Oh, God.
since last birthday, technically. No, I think reflecting on upcoming birthday and past birthdays. I read somewhere recently that one's ability to celebrate themselves on their birthday is a matter of like, I don't know that it's confidence, but being okay with being seen, right? And this year, like, I don't know that I mean, we're gonna have girls' weekend. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be, honestly, it's gonna be perfect.
It is.
It's gonna be so perfect.
That place
Just
looks cute.
20 of my closest girlfriends.
I
I
was like, what?
I'm kidding.
Oh my
I'm
God,
kidding.
God.
The head count's 7. It's real small. It's a short list, but at the same time, like all.
But also, to even have like 7 girlfriends that you can do that with.
Oh my
like,
gosh! And I was
that's-
I was telling you the other day. I was thinking about it. The whistleblowers in my life. You are one of them. We can name names, right?
I don't care. They're, yeah.
My sister, she's a bit of a whistleblower.
Okay.
She's more discreet about it.
Yeah.
And maybe I want to say passive aggressive, but she's still she's still a whistleblower.
She's out there.
Noelle's a whistleblower.
Yeah,
Emily's
she
a
is.
whistleblower.
Okay.
Mackenzie is absolutely a whistleblower.
I don't know her well enough, but based on
I'll
what
tell you
you've told
what,
me.
she has got some gumption.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. She is not afraid
Cool.
to
I'm glad I get to like hang out
She
with
is
her.
not afraid to tell somebody no, and she's not afraid to tell somebody how she sees it. Not in an offensive way necessarily,
Yeah.
but in a standing up for herself way.
Yeah.
And then
I like people like that.
yeah, just incredible. And then I got to thinking, I'm like, dang, I got a lot of powerful women in my my birthday bash.
Uh-oh.
And then I was thinking to myself, Jenna, are you a whistleblower? And you know what? I am a whistleblower.
Yeah.
I
You-
wouldn't.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I wouldn't have ever thought that until I was reflecting on all my girls, like, being whistleblowers.
You are really good at. You're really smart in your approach to things. You're really smart in how you handle uncomfortable situations.
Like, I wouldn't say I have, like, the comebacks that I have are usually pretty, like, even keel.
They are.
And I've already made, like, 17 laps around that person, probably. For real.
Yes, you Gemini, you.
And it's not, and I think that it gets to the point where it's like, if it's not worth my breath, then absolutely not. Like, there's no reason to do that. But yeah, I think making it known, I think my first incident with more recently feeling like I was a whistleblower was at our old brokerage. Having a sit down powwow with our broker for, honestly, 2.5 hours too long. Truly.
Yeah.
I didn't owe him that conversation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I would like to know what I can expect moving forward. And if anything's going to change. And I listed out the things that I would like to see. And they didn't happen. And that's okay.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now I got to go.
Yeah.
Now I got to go. And not afraid,
yeah,
not
there's-
afraid to make that move because I'm always going to be okay. I can't say the same thing for the other party, but it's not really my business anyway. Nor does it affect me now directly. It doesn't.
But that makes it so easy and so clear of your path forward when
Right.
when you outline your needs
Shared them.
clearly,
Verbalize
openly,
them, yeah.
kindly,
Yeah.
and you didn't make any rash decisions.
That was
You
like
took-
6 months.
Yeah, you took your time. You
I gave the benefit of the doubt.
you did. You definitely did.
I could have jumped ship just like everybody else was.
Yeah.
But that's not really my MO.
Yeah.
But it was something
I mean,
internal.
I had a different MO. But
Yeah, well, yeah.
'Cause that
But
could
the
s-
internal stuff, it's like, this doesn't make sense anymore. This absolutely does not make
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
When
yeah.
someone's not willing to even say hello to you in public, that's a
Yeah,
problem.
That's strange.
After I said, if I see you in public, you better say hi.
Yeah.
And for it to not happen,
Yeah,
just
strange.
seems- yeah.
Huh.
Anyway. But I don't feel moving forward with the decision I made. I didn't feel any remorse. I didn't feel any guilt or shame around it because I did
Yep.
everything. I did everything in my power.
Yeah.
To, I guess, mitigate that.
Yeah. Make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was that. So I'm a whistleblower too.
Hell yeah.
So just a bunch of whistleblowers.
Oh, woo!
Yeah, but it's cool. I feel like we're standing up for.
You know
it's,
what?
It's the voice for the ones that aren't standing up for themselves or whatever scenario, whatever that scenario looks like.
What is that saying you always say? What is it? What do you
There's
say?
a greater social responsibility.
We have a
Yeah.
greater social responsibility.
Yeah.
You take that seriously, and you're a very good.
Like the advocate. I'm an advocate for
You are.
that. Even like the little girls at soccer. It's they don't have a voice yet. They don't have a voice.
Yeah.
Protect the kiddos at all costs. I don't know family law. I know a little bit. But protect the kiddos at all costs.
Yeah.
And so if they're not being advocated for, which is just so funny, and my therapist told me, this was a couple years ago, but she told me, she goes, I wonder if maybe you're so excited and love coaching so much and wanting to be involved on that level is because that's
you didn't have it.
That's the protection. I'm giving the protection for these kiddos, these girls. I don't coach boys anymore.
That's inner child work for you.
100%.
Yeah.
And not even knowing. That's where my like inner soul was clinging to before she even said that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they deserve to have someone advocate for them and be a consistent in their life. It's 2 days a week, plus tournaments and games and all that on the weekends. But yeah, just someone who shows up. It takes a village to raise. It takes a village to raise, the little ones in this
I was in
world.
Target today, and I walked down the diaper aisle, and
God.
it like gave me,
Yeah.
it gave me the, I was like, oh my god.
Did you accidentally turn on that aisle? Like, what was?
I was just trying to take
Trying
a
to
short.
cut
I was trying to
through?
take a
Yeah,
shortcut
yeah.
because these people were blocking the aisle, and I was like, and then I was like, oh god.
Dude, I'm trying to think of a more embarrassing aisle to turn down. What would that one be?
But then I saw the cute
Yeah.
little baby kid swimsuits, and I was like, those are so cute.
Why are little
I'm
clothes
still
so
really, I'm
cute?
still
Yeah.
really glad that I'm not buying them, but
Yeah,
they
but we
are
can
cute.
appreciate them.
Yeah.
We can appreciate them for hanging on that rack right there. Yeah, I'm with
Oh,
you.
gosh.
No, I think the kiddos. I was talking at lunch this afternoon. I was talking with a dear friend. His name's Tyler, and he also doesn't happen to want children. His sister's trying to have kids. I can't remember. We got on that topic somehow, and also just how important it is to be breaking generational trauma. He was sharing about his mother and how important it is to do the healing, do the internal work before you even think about having children. Because we're
And
just spewing shame on them if we don't.
Yeah, but I don't think that happens very often.
I know.
At least not in this country. People have kids so young.
I know.
At least in this
Sure.
part of this
Sure.
country.
Yeah.
It's just sort of like the thing you do.
Par for the course. Yeah, as unfortunate as that is, I think I can get down a rabbit hole on conspiracy theories about all of that. But I think, for the most part, like our nation, right? Like America, the white picket fence, that dream, that also,
That's a dream that's been sold to us.
they reiterate that. That's a
Yeah.
broken record. Like they
Yeah.
want that. They don't
Yeah.
want us whistleblowers. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
don't want us whistleblowers
No, they
being
don't.
too loud because then that messes everything up.
Yep.
Anyway.
I just couldn't fathom doing something for 18 years. Can you really?
Well, you figure too.
Are you going to be selling real estate for 18 years?
No, I talked about that with Lynn. Hell no. No,
Yeah.
I'm being Italy. Well, I'll be selling houses. I'll just be in Italy doing that. We will have a team.
You think
that
so?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
We'll have feet on the ground here.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
have feet on the ground here.
Yeah, I could definitely not live here.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll be doing it.
Huh.
I was talking about with Lynn yesterday, recounting a story of a showing.
Come here, you have another bug in your hair.
Recount.
Oh, it's a spider. Oh.
Ugh, I got it. Recounting
Aren't
a
you
story.
proud of me? I didn't kill it.
And it's funny, I didn't kill one the other day too.
We saw a snake yesterday.
Did you kill it? Did you kill it?
No, but Jonathan and them found one in the house. Did I tell you
In
this?
the house?
In the fucking house. It was behind the little mini fridge. They moved the mini fridge, and there was a snake hiding in there.
It was looking for warmth, I bet. It was trying to be around those coils underneath. Does your
yeah.
fridge have coils? It was probably want to get warm.
Oh, I don't.
Aren't snakes cold-blooded? They want to be warm?
They want to be warm.
They want to be incubated.
Right? They want to be warm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet it was looking for a coil underneath
I don't
that.
know, but it was in there,
Ugh.
and they killed that one. But we were out there
Did you know?
yesterday.
It's the year of the snake. That's a good sign. That's a good omen. It's in your house?
Well,
I saw a dead one on the road the
it's
other day.
not anymore.
Well, but it was.
Yeah, but I knew it was gonna be. I knew it was a matter of time before I saw one out there. But
The shedding of the snake. This is the year, yeah. This is a big year.
Ooh.
2025 is a huge year for everyone.
totes agree.
As long as they tune into it. It's a big one.
Tune in.
into it.
Meow.
Tune in. Speaking of
You
cats.
and the fucking cats.
Speaking of cats. I'm kidding. I'm
God.
allergic. I can't. Okay. I can't. I'm allergic.
Well, do you want to roll? Let's roll out with your Thomas O'Malley.
My cat theory?
Tell us why you have been.
Oh my god.
On such
no.
a
It is
cat
it
kick.
is such a
Are
long
we
story.
past?
It's a long story, yeah.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
We've
a
set
long-
it free. We've set it free.
We've set it
We've set
free.
it free. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not clinching. It was as fun as it was.
So we are or are not manifesting a ginger.
Oh. Damn it. I feel like I've been fighting it forever.
I know.
I have one now, and I'm like, I've been fighting it. I've had so many.
I could see you
My
with like
cat.
a.
I did. Okay, hold on, time out. I did hear something recently that was an indicator. Well, I hate to even say this out loud right now, but an indicator of like soulmates or long lasting soul. They look alike. They look similar. I guess that's like an interesting indicator of where.
Really?
And who knows how credible this source was? I just read it. I was
I
like,
don't
huh.
know.
I was like, I've never dated anybody that, well, maybe one, but never. Tall, dark, and handsome is usually my MO, which is not look like me at all. So I'm like, so going for someone that looks maybe closer, like more similar, fair skinned, light eyes, like things like that, maybe makes more sense. But who knows? I'm gonna let the universe decide that.
I've never heard that one, but I do think
Yeah.
people tend to look like their dogs.
But what about couples that look like each other?
I don't like I can't.
Like they
think
look like
of,
their brother and sister.
Can you think of anybody like
Well,
that?
not off the top of my head, but
Yeah, I don't really know of anybody
Okay.
like that.
The
Who?
Trumps, Kushner and what's her face? Oh
I don't
gosh,
know. I don't know.
Ivanka and Kushner.
Do they look alike?
I think they look pretty similar. Anyway, I think
don't
they
know.
do.
I don't pay attention to that.
Yeah.
To them.
I mean, I suppose I don't either, but she's gorgeous though. He's a cutie, but they definitely are fair skin, like lighter hair, that sort of. So, I don't know. It was just
Okay, so
something I
there's
thought.
one.
And
I don't know.
I don't
Interesting,
have any
interesting.
others. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know that I believe it.
Do you think you'll meet someone this year?
I think they're in Paris.
They're in. Okay.
I think they're in Paris.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they were in Italy, but maybe they're in Paris.
Well, shoot, maybe they are in Italy because I'm
I
gonna
don't
go
know.
to Paris.
This could be Paris.
I'm gonna go to
too.
Paris, then I'm gonna go to Italy. So I think that they could be, yeah.
Okay.
But I still I'm not convinced that they're here. I'm not convinced that they're here.
Yeah, for you, yeah.
I wouldn't be like angry if they were. I just don't think I don't think they're here. I don't think they're just hanging out.
Well, I didn't think someone was here either, but I was wrong. So
There you go.
you never know.
I know. You know how you make God laugh? Any God, it doesn't matter which God. You tell him what you're doing tomorrow.
Exactly.
You'll
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's honestly why I love life.
The unexpected.
Yes.
The
it's-
uncertain.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you are centered and you are stable, the uncertain doesn't shake you. It excites you.
So excited.
You know? And so it's like anything can be an opportunity. And I just love that. I love that about life.
We have.
And I love that about your Jesus year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
it's- yeah.
Yeah.
It's bound to be a.
How
it's
could it
bound to be a
not?
big
How could
one.
it not?
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. I think that the rest of this year, and also just jumping through so many different timelines in our lives more recently, without drinking alcohol, it's so good. It's so good.
I mean, as I've been reflecting this week too, like, there's just no denying that sobriety has played a big part in
navigating your choices and opportunities and
just the way all of these things have unfolded,
Yeah.
I just have no doubt that
Yeah.
sobriety has played a big part in that.
If you
Even
weren't-
this morning, I woke up and I was like, so excited and ready for today, and I was like, you know what I love? Sobriety. I do. I'm like, I
6
feel
a.m. Let's go, baby.
I
Let's
feel
go.
ready to rock
Yeah.
and roll. Yes.
It's crazy because I remember there's
consistently.
a brief period. Well, I mean, I've gone long.
But I mean, like, we
periods
do
of
go to bed
times.
at like 9:30. But
Yeah.
that might help too.
Being old, acting as if
Yeah.
we're a little bit older,
Yeah.
but behaving as if we're younger,
Yeah.
right, in the mornings and getting going. But this is a couple years ago. I was out for someone's birthday. I didn't happen to be drinking, and some people tend to give you shit for it. That's fine. I can handle the heat. I don't really care. I was like, well, I'm gonna wake up feeling like a champ tomorrow. I don't know how you're gonna wake up, and I actually don't care because I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna get after it and
Yeah.
excited to seize the day versus like letting the day consume you. You know, it's just a mindset shift.
Yeah, I mean,
Reframing that entirely.
I had so many wasted days last year of
Due
feeling,
to
yeah,
the
feeling like shit
hangover,
and
the
spending
calm down.
all
Yeah.
Sunday on the couch.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. We've not done that once
Ew.
this year. Yeah.
Not even once.
And when your body I think what's interesting too, what's come up for me a lot, even today, I woke up this morning, my little node was
Yeah.
real swollen. I told Valentina when she got here. It felt a lot better. I had some tea with Debbie. I was hydrating, had a nice lunch, and yeah, truly by the time you guys got here, it was feeling so much better. But if I wasn't so in tune with my body, I pop in zinc tablets for the last like 3 days. If I wasn't so in tune with my body, if I was, indulging in alcohol, not overindulging, but indulging, I probably wouldn't have been slow enough to recognize that and actually
You slow?
take care of my body and actually take care of it and
Yeah.
like nurture it the way that it needs to. It's like
Yeah.
that needed attention. I haven't walked today. I'm probably not walking today.
Oh, wow.
I'm probably that's how I'm like, nope, we're not doing that. That's
Yeah.
doing too much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come here. I've clean sheets to go to bed tonight, which
Oh,
I'm super
yeah.
pumped about.
Yeah.
Friday night ins. Friday night ins.
That's Friday night ins.
Friday nights in. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Either
Friday
way,
nights
yeah.
in.
That is my favorite.
It's so good.
It is so good.
Fresh sheets, ready to rock and roll. Excited about Saturday morning.
Okay, well, is it like
It's
cheers?
time.
Cheers to Friday nights in.
Cheers. It makes me want to high five. And that is a wrap.
That's a wrap, baby.